on the last video.
Weakness in my heart. I admit it. Now get back here.
Get back here. I blur it out before I have time to get second thoughts. This should do it. Then the shadow starts laughing instead.
Not bad, but that's exactly what I mean by ignoring me.
And so, we continue. Hey there guys, LOI Games, I'm back with some more Persona 4 Arena. Where we last left off, we had a little Yosuke versus Yosuke action, and now we're going to move on.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Margaret.
You did it, Senpai! That was awesome!
Yep. I let Rise wash over me. But there's something bugging me. Something that could be really bad for me.
About my conversation with my shadow. Did you?
I hijacked the school PA system.
Oh yeah, that happened. I knew it. Everyone had been backing me up because they'd been hearing everything I said leading up to
You
it.
saw my shadow last time. Now everyone got to listen in? Ah, so lame.
That's not true. You were really cool, Senpai.
Thanks.
This president looks like she's having trouble finding words for this. Damn, she's horrified by me. Can't blame her. She was left out of the picture. But well, explaining it to her can wait. I need to do something about my shadow. But when I turn around, my shadow isn't there.
Where did he go? If he disappears, won't my persona... Wait.
Something's not right. I used my persona during that fight. But my persona's my shadow. So if my shadow left me, how could I have used my persona? As I'm struggling with that, Rise speaks up.
Something's not right.
Her voice is firm. Did she just think the same conundrum that I did? No, that's not all. There's an eerie presence all around. Even I feel it. It must be hitting Rise like a jolt of electricity. I can't let my guard down yet.
Rise, Miss President, stay close to...
Right at that moment, the lights go out and darkness covers the room.
What the hell?
I can't believe you've made it this far. They repeatedly suffered the pain of fighting their friends, but they still didn't lose heart.
The lights come back on. When they do, the fake Teddy is standing there. Why is it looking like that now? Wait, was it the one making that weird voice? Fake Teddy ignores me and looks at Miss President.
No one can understand you after all. What a shame. Who are you?
Then you weren't my shadow?
I want to make people fight. I especially want friends to fight against each other. Then maybe they'll understand how I feel. That was your wish, wasn't it?
What are you saying?
What does it mean this was my wish? And what's with that voice? Wait a minute. It's not talking to me. Then you mean...
Senpai, get back! The shadow's reacting to Miss President! It was really her shadow!
What?
Yep. I can feel my brain cracking open like a dropped watermelon. That's Miss President's shadow? But it just said it was my shadow. But now that I think about it, this General Teddy has always been hostile to her. Ever since we met outside the school ground. That would explain Rise's voice on the PA system too. Well, duh. If a normal person's in here long enough, of course her shadow is gonna split away from her. I could have known that. After all, that's exactly what kept happening last year. Miss President just looked so healthy that it never occurred to me. It's just... As if to mock my astonishment, the shadow keeps talking in General Teddy's shape.
I did exactly what you wished. So, how did that work out for you? They still couldn't understand you. No one can really understand how we feel, can they? Come on. How much longer are you going to keep deceiving yourself? Didn't you hear them say you shouldn't ignore who you are? Here, I'll show you your reality.
With the sound of the enemy finally showing its real form.
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
But that's the same. Even though her shadow... that's the same. Even though her shadow has the same face, her body is wrapped in metal. The president screams at what appears to be something from a sci-fi flick.
Well, you must remember now. No, I'm not like that.
No, Miss President, calm down. A shadow doesn't just take on your appearance. You look like a twisted version of you to agitate you even more.
No.
I tried calming her down, but my words aren't reaching her. She just keeps shaking her head in denial. What's going on here? Shadows are things to amplify what their originals want to be. I've never heard of them transforming into into other people. The shadow sees my confusion and smiles.
It's an illusion.
Huh?
It's an illusion? Isn't that what you thought when you fought your friends? Your senses were being deceived, warping what you saw, twisting what you heard. That's how you made my senpai fight each other. Is that your power? Not just mine. It's actually our power. Isn't that so? Me.
R? What is she saying?
I'm not like you. I'm human.
This president crouches down and says the words that are always bad. With that, the shadow smile grow even more menacing, and it snaps its fingers again. At that moment, something like TV static flashes across my eyes. I rub my eyes. The static doesn't cover the entire field of vision, but slowly begins to focus around the president. When it clears, Miss President has changed. Metallic limbs stretch from her uniform. Something metallic like wings unfurl from her back. There's no doubt she's the same as the shadow standing in front of us. She cries out and tries to cover her ears. But when she does, the sound of metal grinding against metal accompanies her movements. I see myself reflected in the shiny metal of her fingers.
Robot?
So that means the shadow isn't a fantasy version. That's her true self. So Miss President was the one trying to look like a human?
No! I'm human! You still believe that about yourself? No human can do that. And you know it.
The shadow points at me, and I'm at a loss for words. I look around, but in the end my eyes meet hers. We both fall silent. In those few seconds, I can feel a deep rift growing between us.
Yosuke-kun,
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
I'm human.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Suddenly, there's an explosion so loud that I think my eardrums are blown out. The smoke makes me cough and my eyes tear up. I manage to focus and see a hole in the wall. I can barely see through the smoke, but I can see the hallway on the other side. Eventually, the smoke clears and the shape steps through the hole.
What the? I didn't sense anything until now.
It was a girl. Blonde hair, blue, crystal-like eyes. But the metallic sounds as she walks.
So this is where you were.
Another robot girl?
Yep. Yes. There's another girl with a metallic body just like the Shadow and Miss President. She looks at the trembling president and calls
You must
out.
remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be. Your true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
Labris. Weapon? What? What's going on here? When the new girl said Labris, Miss President opens her mouth
My
trembling.
name is Labris. Labris.
In that instant, her pale face flushes with comprehension. She looks down at her mechanical limbs and her face twists into bitter expression. In the meantime, the Shadow glares at the other robot girl.
Don't tell me you're... Yes, I am the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Aegis. I am the model that came after you. Huh. So you're here to seize her. Well, I won't let you. I'm sick of that place. I'm going to be free. Isn't that right, me? Won't that be better than letting the Kiricho group capture you again? Kiricho. Capture.
The president blankly repeats the Shadow's words. She turns to me, her eyes filled with desperation.
I wasn't human?
I should answer her and try, but nothing comes out of my mouth. In that moment, I could feel our fates ripping apart.
I won't be caged! I will take my freedom!
Oh boy. The Shadow's arm suddenly shoots out across the room. It's connected to her by a long chain, and it catches Miss President, Labris, in it. The chain reels in like it was connected to a winch dragging her along. The Shadow grabs Labris and lifts her onto her shoulders. In the next moment, the Shadow burst out of the announcement room. That was fast. I can't believe she's carrying her twice her own weight.
Wait!
This is weird. The other robot, Aegis, follows right behind. That just leaves Rise and me and a whole lot of questions. What the hell am I supposed to do now? The student council president isn't human, but some kind of weapon? And there's another robot girl.
Ow!
Rise slapped him. Something smacks me in my back. It's Rise. She's staring at me with flushed cheeks.
Senpai, aren't you gonna go after them?
After them. Yeah, why am I spacing out? Of course I can't just let stuff end like this. So what if she's not human? So what if she's not what I'd imagine? She believed in me. She trusted me. And yet I completely failed her. I'm not going to let it end now. Not a chance in hell.
Thanks, Rise.
She didn't get to be a celebrity for nothing. She'd really got some guts. It sure is great to have friends to urge you
I'll
on.
back you up from here. Good luck!
I nod with determination. I leave Rise alone in the announcement room and run out the hall in the wall. I can't match their speed, but I know where they're going. When the Shadow left the room, she turned towards the stairway. If she was going to head downwards, it would be fast to make it out the fire escape in the other direction. So while this isn't a whole lot going on, I think I can guess where they're going. To the roof. As I huff and puff my way up the stairs, I see the door to the roof is open, just as I thought. But when I got there, I didn't see what I expected to. It took my breath away. It looks like a studio like that place. This is the entrance to the world we used up until this spring. It went away after we solved the mystery the last year. But it must have come back when Labrys entered the TV and created the school. I guess that's when everybody saw the Midnight Channel, they all became interested in it, like last time. That's why it looks exactly the same.
You're here.
In the middle of the area, Aigis and Shadow, still carrying Labrys, are at a standoff. Labrys is silent. She looks conscious, but her eyes are empty, as if she's given up trying to understand anything. The Shadow smiles when she sees me and snaps her fingers. Wait, what? Suddenly, the area is enveloped in a strange presence.
What? The Grand Prix isn't over yet. If you want to chase me, you better fight each other.
Hey, wait!
I try to chase after the Shadow, but run into another invisible wall. This crap again! The Shadow disappears back into the school building. Damn it! Looks like I just had to help her buy some more time. The Grand Prix isn't over. Don't tell me I gotta fight more to keep going. So now I have to fight this robot, Aigis. I timidly ask her. Hell, I don't know anything about her other than her name. First I need to find out what the hell she's doing here.
Is it true you came to capture her?
You're Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura, correct?
Nah, she remembered that. She knows me? And she knows about the Resentiment part? Someone kill me!
I saw you in the video advertising this tournament. The one showing the people currently in this world.
Did you now?
Still, Resentiment, huh? It still really pisses me off, but to be honest, it's not that far from the truth.
Normally, I would recommend that you evacuate at once, but neither of us can leave. I must go after her.
What a coincidence. Me too.
Obviously.
But this has nothing to do with you.
I may not have meant to, but I hurt that girl. She was depending on me, and I turned my back on her.
Yeah, you do that. You do that a lot. Not a human. A robot? So what? That's what I wanted to say to her, but I couldn't. That's why
I need to go and apologize.
When I say this, Aigis' expression relaxes. It's a real natural expression. Very human-like. Labrys' face was like that, too.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
She slowly begins to speak. Apparently, there were incidents involving shadows and personas outside Inaba, too. They didn't start recently either, but they made an unofficial squad to deal with stuff like that, and Aigis belongs to that group. She is a weapon created solely to fight shadows. She was given a soul so that she can summon a persona, the only method of dealing with shadows. Miss President, Labrys, was a prototype, but she went AWOL. Holy crap. I mean, after last year, I'm ready for any kind of crazy story, but this still takes me by surprise. Of course, it's not all that hard to believe when one of the robot girls is standing right in front of me, but still.
There are shadows outside the TV too?
We would never have realized that a television could lead to a space like this.
Yeah, who would have really?
Well, I'm surprised by what you just told me, so I guess we're even.
I tried joking and smiling, But Aigis doesn't smile back. She looks straight at me. Her eyes are filled with strength. I can tell that she's measuring me up. Come to think of it, Labras looked at me the same way when we first met. I remember thinking, man, those eyes.
Hey, please tell me, what's going to happen to Labras once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Aigis hesitates before answering, like she has to squeeze it out of her throat. The pause says more to me than her words.
If you have no other questions, then let us begin the battle. There isn't any time to spare.
Okay, really, there isn't.
Please don't resist. I can knock you out painlessly if you comply.
Yikes.
Yikes. You're kind of woman, Yosuke.
But hey, can't back down.
I act cocky so that I won't get scared. But when I smile, I know that I can't just let her beat
Are
me.
you really going to fight a living weapon like myself? I do not mean to boast, but your chances of success are low.
Damn!
You're still a guy. And guys should help out crying girls, right?
For some reason, that brings a smile to her face. Then I had a thought. Was she trying to scare me to keep me from getting into something dangerous? Perhaps this is her way of trying to be kind to me. Well, if that is, it's not gonna work. I will not forgive myself. I will never forgive myself. It was I. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. If I was sent home now. Typo there. I'd lose something important to me. I've already made my decision. Maybe Aiga sensed that resolution in me because she takes a fighting stance.
I understand. I accept your challenge. Here I come.
Alright. Now let's get this ball rolling. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Hiya. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. I knew that was gonna happen. So she is long distanced. So that's gonna be a big problem. Especially with Yosuke. Yosuke's fast and all, but his attacks aren't that good. Nor are they strong at all.
This place looks very well.
So you have to kind of just get in there and get out with his fighting style. Let's try this again. Up you go. There we go. Place a bookmark there. I will end it here, guys. Anyway, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe to become part of the archives, and I will see you all later. Peace out.
It's a